to pass here. But
we're gonna jump into
out, so it's not going to be available on
back into the
side.
NA games.
Emma Frost also tagged from Navi, sort of doing something similar to VP and good for the Vanguard line.
Giving themselves a little bit of control here. There's the Lunar Snow Protect for Chopped, making sure they get at least one of
the
these
NA games. You guys are not going to want to miss. The NA games are literally going to be fucking fire. Like, think about fire. That's what the NA games are.
And they immediately ban out the enabler.
Luna's going to be protected on both sides, which was something that happened quite a lot yesterday, I think, just to maintain some form of 2-2 if you need it. I don't think either of these teams were really
okay. This is going to be a good game.
On playing the
I think Chopped is a really great team. Navi obviously is a really great team. I think
you kind of want to go for
Navi might win this, though. You know why, chat? Because this is the first time we're seeing Chopped. They're probably not going to be warmed up. Navi just came off a 3-0. They're feeling hot. Actually, no. Didn't half the Navi team like go to sleep and take a nap? They might be a little groggy. This isn't looking good.
Into play. And man, Tetra, this feels like the biggest series so far that we've seen in the EMEA, despite it being the third and final team that we're seeing, whether they qualify or not.
It means so much. Either of these teams could represent us, and I'm sure everyone would be happy, but the fact is someone has to be unhappy with this as we head on in. I think Navi actually came out quite well in this draft with the fact that they got that Lunar Protect while still having access to Psylocke, as an example, and the Venom. So now they can idle Aura onto Psylocke, while we did see Chopped react taking out that Star-Lord, which would have been another fantastic option.
Oh, let me hear this.
Yo, Jay3, love watching you. Almost done with my military training in California, then I'll be back to watching you almost every night. Love that you're able to watching the tourneys that they have going on. Keep up the good work.
I'm glad you're safe, Mankinator. I appreciate the massive 38 months, my friend. Hey, get home safely, and we'll be here when you get back. Appreciate it. Glad you're okay.
It's gonna be everything that these teams are coming in for.
W.
They're going to be happy that
okay, chat, let's see this.
Domination because they've only lost
whoever wins this, remember, whoever wins this makes it to the playoffs in Atlanta. If you lose, you do not make it to LAN. This is a very important game.
2Z immediately. They go for a little bit of trading damage, but no one's going to be picked off early. Fate on the Rocket Raccoon here, keeping that AoE healing up and keeping that triple strategist healing output going. Invisible Woman was left available, but they value that BRB a little bit more.
That's a greedy barrage. It feels from Crazy Kitty. He took so much damage, and the burst down from the dash means that Jerky is able to turn this into a pretty even-sided. Well, not even one-sided.
Navi came out fucking swinging. Swinging.
Cut down to size as the point is going to be taken. Just off the back, it feels, of Crazy Kitty going in deep on the Star-Lord and immediately switching away from it. He's moved over towards the Ultron. Vertigo's moved over to the Invisible Woman, and then Tuzi's now on the torch.
Have decided it is time to take to the skies, giving themselves the double flyer combination. And what do we see on the side of Navi that can deal with it? Jerky, of course, is going to be able to create a little bit of pressure. Raja, if he gets the right angle, could get some good damage.
Navi is showing you why they call it a power nap.
Trust me, is sufficient.
That's clever. I like that.
Has the hit scan as well, but so far not being needed on the Adam Warlock, because trust me, is doing the job.
They're going to be reset as well. Jerky is going to make sure that Beetle has to go down too. Chopped wanted to try and group up, but that's 2 for 2. The Crazy Kitties dove in and then being eliminated first. It means that these fights for Navi are just almost too easy for them. They're set up, they're farming up their Comet Revival for Naga, despite him going down to half HP, instantly healed up from Fate and level 1 Crook.
This is already looking extremely good, up to 57% for Navi. Chopped starting to make their way in, though. Beetle's causing distraction. You can see once again the lack of aerial counters for Navi is showing. Does the Butterfly is going to be forced out into the back line, will not find a target. This time, Chopped are grouped up a little bit better and are starting to make some space. Crazy Kitty on that Ultron sends out that patch onto the Human Torch so they can keep that aerial domination using the tree as cover. Rage of Ultron to pull the trigger. Immediately, the Cosmic Yard Amplifier comes out to try and sustain it. Naga goes down first, quickly self-revives, but Crook is taken out as well.
Oh, Meteor M thrown in onto Naga as the life.
Oh, he killed Naga right before Naga was going to have the res. Case this. I appreciate the massive 5 months. I hope you're having a great day.
92% on the board for Navi. Losing one fight here. Chopped will not have a Comet Revival themselves to be using, but they managed to get some points on the board. They just can't lose a fight on this first objective.
Going to be seeing this flip coming on in. They still have Freedom Charge. They still have Supernova, Visible Boundary. This is Chopped with the tools they need to try and hold this. But Na'Vi, they only need really one tool, and that's Karmic Revival, because if they can burn all of those ultimates from Chopped and then force another fight on neutrals, then they're going to be able to have a good chance of re-flipping this in their favor, already at 92%. Chopped, on the other hand, though, if they can stagger these effectively, they may be able to turn this round. Supernova is going to be the first tool to try and zone out the members of Na'Vi, keep a little bit of a choke point going, and try and get some of that damage onto the front line with those Vanguards being targeted down, Venom into the back line, Flaming Meteor to try and displace him, try and knock him down. Crazy Kitty's got a lovely angle here.
Freedom Charge is going to allow this fight to sustain in favor of Chopped still, as Na'Vi dedicating the fate of both worlds. Camera Revival, if people do start to go down now on the side of Na'Vi, but Naga's the first one to fall. Life Cocoon is going to try and find somewhere safe to do it. In fact, BR Back is going to bring him back. Instead, it wasn't just a passive. There's just so much that is going to allow them. But he uses the Camera Revival as nobody really goes down nor is eliminated on the side of Na'Vi. It feels that Chopped have keeping themselves going, at least with this Rage of Ultron, but their offensive capabilities...
Hey, Chopped is fighting back. I like this.
Gets much work from it.
I hope this goes to a game 5 again, chat.
They forced a neutral fight. Meteor M gonna be coming
Oh,
out.
come on, DRP, bro. You have to be LeBron when you're fighting for your playoff spot, bro.
They could maybe turn this, but look at the positioning from Chopped, and Na'Vi will be deflected, forcing Jerky onto the Strange.
Uh-oh.
This has been 92% to 0 all the way to 99. Chopped has overtaken him and even forced Jerky to switch over towards the Strange to go for a portal play. So it is going to be OT hits with neutral fights and neutral numbers on the point. A Supernova is going to be available for Tuesday, and he's mostly making sure that the Vanguards are going to be under a little bit more heat. The fate of both worlds is going to try to keep it cool, keep them tepid as the world champions.
Bro, no one dying right there is crazy. Good play by the supports.
From Mash as Beetle is brought down to very low health at level 1. Crook is actually able to get the final hit onto him.
Beetle's down. He had ultimately a Freedom Charge, meaning Vertigo is forced to Invisible Boundary just to keep Chopped in it, as Na'Vi with the reinforcements are starting to sustain through. Crazy Kitty with the Rage of Ultron. Meteor M gonna come in. Beetle is just gonna rush back in on foot because they have
a lot of ults going off, chat. A lot of ults, but no kills. A lot of ults, but no kills.
Back in time as Rajaro with the Psionic Seduction.
5v5. Oh, Navi has a lot of ults. Navi should win this.
From Jerky and Chopped are running out of bodies.
Yeah, Navi.
With Freedom Charge down and no strategist outside of Crazy Kitty, the healing output isn't enough. Navi, Karmic Revival.
Wait, does Chop have a portal? Yeah, they do have a portal. You just heard it. Uh-oh. Navi still has ults, though.
99 to 99. Trust me, has that beast from the abyss, but Chopped are just coming in one at a time. Wolverine could be
No, the whole team did not die, bro. It was a 6v6 and like 2 people died. One from each team. It was a 5v5. No.
Coming through the portal. Jerky is burning through the counter Strange to take out Vertigo, and it's gonna be Na'Vi holding on point 1.
Just at the brink consistently. I like the idea of Beetle moving over to the Wolverine, knowing that Na'Vi have switched over to 3 Vanguards. And
remember though, chat. Remember the thing that we have noticed.
And Chopped.
Whoever wins the first round of Koth usually loses. Usually.
Happening, they were able to get comfortable. It was some really good
we've seen that a lot
to change up their composition, get Tuesday on the torch, get Crazy Kitty on the Ultron. It looked good. It was just that Karmic Revival available on the side of the Adam.
I want Navi to prove me wrong.
It might bite them in the backside as Naga's continuing to play on them.
Continuing to hold it through, continuing to build on up to yet another Karmic Revival. This has been extremely
well, Jay, when do you play? I play, I'm going to play comp after this game. After this match series.
Swap. Jerky starting us off on the rocket. Will likely swap over back to that Psylocke that has been so impactful.
This is the lower bracket final.
In Na'Vi, a little bit of an extra sustained role here that would have.
I think it says it right here. I don't know if that's in the way, but it says it right here.
Stage 2.
It says EMEA upper bracket final. No, it's lower bracket. This isn't an upper bracket. This is lower bracket.
On the Magneto. Just me looking for the dives, but let's be careful that Vertigo with the force physics on this invisible woman isn't just going to pull him back into the fray as he tries to leave. But it's a deep dive, goes in, you've got at least some protection and mitigation as the Feast of the Abyss.
Damn, that ult did nothing.
Onto much from Trust Me. The Eternal Bond is going to be used to sort of allow a path for Navi to go and fight past and across this point, and that focus on Damash does result in the pick in the end.
Fate doing some huge work there with that Terracate Supernova coming out early from Tuzi to try and turn this round. They have been the difference maker multiple times before, but it looks like they will be forced to retreat here. Back to their team. Trust Me is actually sent off the map there with the force physics from Vertigo, which does help even it up for Chopped a little, but the point is in control of Natas Vincere.
Yo, Zombie! I appreciate the massive 22 months. I hope you have a great day and a great weekend. Appreciate it.
From Chopped, it was that final map against Virtus Pro that confirmed VP's position to Atlanta. Don't want this to become a bit of a poison chalice for Chopped. They could not lose on it. Now they might be stringing a couple of losses together in the end if they don't sort their act out here. Jerky going in with the Dance to Butterflies. Does catch up Beetle just shy of having his ultimate in use again. The Captain America not quite connecting to have that sustain, but he's going to be back into the fight, into the fray fairly soon. The problem, however, is that Chopped is still fighting this. It's not really leading to any picks on their end. And in fact, Trust Me is finding those eliminations himself on the other side whilst that clock is ticking to 50% on progression.
And we may end up in a similar situation here where Chops are able to flip it, but it might be too late. They're going to have to regroup with 3 members down. Navi keep control. They already have Karmic Revival. If Naga can stay safe, they have everything they need to
Trust Me, he's a good guy. That guy's really smart.
But
he's a really fucking smart player.
Try and get rid of Naga. Keep the pressure on him, especially Crazy Kitty. This will be their job. Then they might be able to make something happen and turn this round to at least get some percentage on the board.
These are the tense moments for Chopped, because I can imagine that the comms are a little bit quiet whilst they try and get set up for these next fights.
That's the one thing I wish. I think they did it in the finals, but they're not doing it here. Usually with the bans, they would add the. Wait, that's not Jerky, by the way. That's the wrong camera. I'm pretty sure that's level 1 Crook. They need to add the bans somewhere in the UI.
Going to bring Trust Me back into the fold. There comes the freedom charge for Beetle, and it's mostly to keep himself alive. He's taking a good brunt of damage as Tuzi tries to help with a
oh, that guy was 1 HP, damn.
He's almost getting the picks onto the
nice freeze. Wait, damn.
Onto level 1 Crook, but it's still Navi fighting this one. It's still in their control at 99%. It does take everything for Chop to do similar to
that's I'm pretty sure that's level 1 Crook. I don't think that's Jerky.
Making it happen though, picking up one by one, holding this together. Naga's going to self-revive to burn this through because currently Chop don't have a lot of people on the board. DRP is making space. Trust Me, he's dropped.
When do you play, Jay? I'm going to play after the series.
Will likely secure it for Chopped, but having to burn Portal for it when the fight was mostly even shows just how many resources that Chopped are having to throw at Navi because Trust Me is keeping the delays going. Naga returning even without Karmic Revival to keep bodies on the point, and Jerky dueling with Tuzi while keeping Tuzi away from the fight. Chopped are just burning more resources than Navi each time.
Eventually it's enough resources to take the point, but it has to be faultless yet again. That's the concern here for Chopped, is similar to what Navi were able to do. If they can bank some ultimates together, they just will have enough about them to retake this at 99% and make it a 2-point win on this first map.
Pajro pushing forward, getting a lot of damage onto DRP. Vertigo almost got in a position. That's about the force physics. Rage of Ultron to pull the trigger, as well as a Feast from the Abyss on the other side from Trust Me. Diving into the backline to try and create some space, actually protecting their own strategists to keep this fight going in their favor. A lot of damage is being dropped out, but this triple strategist on both sides. Healing output is a little too much to deal with at this stage without some ultimates. Freedom charge for some bonus health, which Vertigo needs, but they can't get to him in time.
Hey, appreciate it, Best. I appreciate it.
Could not do this all day. They were just arriving a bit too late.
Trying to cut back and through. It's Jerky full on blasting through if he can get it. Sign of Seduction is going to be used as well.
I think that is true, by the way, someone said earlier. Chopped is the only, well, until yesterday, Chopped is a team that has never lost a cost map. They were like 9 wins and 0 losses on King of the Hill. Oh, thank you, Nana. I hope your team loses, so you lose all your channel points.
The diamond form, Emma Frost can't buy a win. but they can just take one through skill. Beetle falls. Jerky trying to get onto the torch. They rushed out to hold the overtime. Mash gonna look to try and portal. DRP is literally rushing in on Angela to try and touch, to give time for the portal. The body blocks. They make it in time, but the portal cannot reach.
Wait.
Navi fighting it on to the end.
Wait.
And there just wasn't enough room for Chop to work with. When they lose out on those first points of domination, you're just fighting uphill. And this point,
No. I'm not even talking about the portal.
the last one, the first point that we just saw.
Hold up. Go back. They're not going to talk about anything interesting right now. Go back. This is what happens when you sub to a streamer chat. You can actually go back into the wait. What the fuck? This is wait. This isn't. How the hell did I get to Asia when I went back a few minutes? Where the hell am I?
Try to take over, but as soon as his health is low, he's gonna retreat.
Maps away from qualifying.
Enough room for Chop to work.
Make it in time. Rushed out to hold the overtime. Mash gonna look to try and portal. DRP.
Oh, I was trying to figure out because I was very confused. I thought the timer was still ticking up, and someone from Chopped has to touch the point to trigger the overtime. I didn't know the overtime was already triggered. I was like, wait.
Try and touch to give time for the portal. The body blocks. They make it in time.
Okay, I was a little confused. My bad.
And Convoy, you have a negative win rate on it. 4 wins, 5 losses. So it feels that NAVI are going to be pretty set on wherever Chopped want to take this series now. I don't think NAVI.
Yeah, I think they need to work on their little rewind a little bit. But I like it. I like how they actually introduce you can rewind streams now.
They seem to have gone away.
Yo, Fat Daddy Jones, I appreciate the massive gift this time, my friend.
Can Chopped do the same? Because there's no advantage really, as you've said, to really be taken by what map you go to. There might be some maps that
lower bracket finals, chat.
But these are two teams that have just been winning so consistently that it's hard to pick out some of these best options between the two.
It's a little bit scary, I suppose, if you're Chopped, because this would be a great way to just get the momentum into your favor, frankly. Like one of those instances where you know that you're the underdog, you know that Navi are going to be very
I think Twitch Turbo is like one of the best things you could probably buy on Twitch. If you watch a lot of Twitch,
and taking that game
Twitch Turbos, the fact that it was fucking, so you skip ads, you can rewind streams, and I think it's pretty chill.
A little bit quiet, and that's when the dread might start to set in. And Navi, they're sort of used to being on the back foot. They won the mid-season finals through the losers bracket when they were knocked down fairly early on. This is nothing to them, and they're used to playing in these big games a lot more than most teams in Marvel Rivals.
I think.
They really are.
I think they're going to go on a break.
Comfortable, but what you should all be comfortable in is what character you are playing and what skins you are utilizing. While
okay, they're gonna run an ad. I think Twitch Turbo is really good, so you can like skip ads and you can rewind and all that stuff. But I only think Twitch Turbo is good if you watch more than 2 streamers. If you watch only 2 streamers, or if you only watch 1 streamer, I think subbing to that streamer is a lot better than Because I think subbing to a streamer is like what, $6.99 I think now, and you get their emotes, you get all that stuff, and I think how much is Twitch Turbo, chat? Do you guys know?
Of course, I think it's also one skin.
I think Twitch Turbo is like $11.99, $12. So let's see, there you go. So I think if you watch one person, subbing to that one person is really good. You support them, you get their emotes, you get the spam. Woo! But if you watch more than one person and you don't want to sub to those 2 people, let's say you watch like 5 different people, I think Twitch Turbo is the best. A sub costs $1 here. Oh shit. Oh yeah, that's also because they introduced a while ago that you sub in like wherever you live now compared to so subbing in Canada is actually a lot more than like subbing here in the US. Should I use my Prime sub on another streamer? Use your Prime sub on Emily. Or if you're subbed to Emily and you're subbed to me already, there's actually one streamer that I think is low-key really underrated, and I hope they get the recognition they deserve. Have you guys ever heard of Jay3 VODs? That's a good guy. Jay3 VODs is like that guy is really handsome, great at the game. I mean, I heard he has a fat ass. You know, I don't know if that's true or not. Great content. Definitely sub to that guy. Definitely sub to that guy. Also, I heard Jay3 VOD. I heard that guy does 24-hour streams every single fucking day. That guy does not sleep. Yeah. Oh, we're on a break. He won't say thank you, though. He's very shy. He's very shy. So if you guys go to his stream and talk to him, usually he likes to talk to himself. But yeah. We meet again, Jay. 24-hour stream, round 10. No, bro. Hey, I've been happy. Yo, I've been having a lot of fun with these 15-hour streams lately. The only thing is that I wish the 15 hours were on my time so I could actually sleep. I am very tired. Yeah. Oh my God, YouTube. YouTube. Are you guys still arguing about fucking nerfs? You guys been at it for 4 hours. Drop that conversation. Bro, they were arguing about the same thing that we were talking about on the Navi versus FaZe. It's been 2 other matches since. Stop. Jeez. Pineapple pizza, yes. Okay, chat. No. This person literally just said pineapple on pizza. Yes or no? Do I ban? Yes or no? I'm gonna let you guys decide. Yes or no? Yes?
The world champions continuing their run through this lower bracket as they are now 1-0 up versus the plucky newcomers of Chopped.
Nah, you don't do pineapple on pizza, bro.
I think going back to MRC when we were first really got a glimpse of this Chopped team, granted they had just beaten NAVI in the night shift tournament as NAVI came back in a full best of 5, so it's a rematch of that game. And since then, both these teams have done well to
give him another
avoid
chance.
Each other for the most part. So now it feels that NAVI.
Okay, I'll give the pineapple on pizza
a break between them play mid-season finals and then that fight night
one
game.
more chance. Rosie, what do you prefer? If you had to wake up and you are and you know you have one more meal, what are you eating between 2 dishes in front of you? One is lasagna and one is a steak. Which one are you eating? There's only one correct answer. Choose wisely.
First map versus Chopped. So the question is, where do Chopped take them? We were talking about which one we would prefer to see them on earlier.
Lasagna. I don't like steak. No, ban. Ban. That's a ban. Get him out. Get him. Mods.
Chopped have shown some
mods.
good success.
Throw him overboard. Get him out.
Is that right?
Nope.
Decently, it
Get him
was
out.
sort of like for them yesterday against Navi, they were the domination guys, and then you had Virtus Pro that were more convergence.
Nope.
And then it was sort of down to Convoy. Here, it's not too bad, I think, for the side of Chopped. I mean, to the point that they actually want to bring us to Central Park. It's a map that they have picked twice.
What's up, Yan? I appreciate it.
And they're 2-2. That's Navi even, actually. So it's not too bad for them. The Central Park, it is 1-1-1, actually. So it's
that's convenient.
Pretty much well-rounded. They've played it twice. They've picked it once. They've won it once. They've lost it once.
All right, we're going to see one-sided Jeff. Could be an option for a one-sided Mantis for Navi. If they
Jay, have you ever tried banana on pizza? Get him out. That's 2 bans. Get him out.
On Central Park can be quite
Get him out.
difficult,
Actually, no,
especially
don't
with
even
multiple
ban them.
re-engages.
Put them in a room
with
with each other, one-on-one. Survivor stays unbanned.
One-sided Mantis to start off Navi on their defense here.
Losers
That
banned.
pick is going to give them the Jeff that they hungered for. They wanted to really get a good go with this character. They're going to ban out the Ultron as well to stop some more like triple strategist setups. You have to deal with the Mantis. You don't want to give the Jeff or the Ultron alongside. And you're even going to take out the Atom to avoid what happened last
J3,
time,
what would
which
you
I
eat
think
for your
overall
last
is a good
meal? Taco
choice
Bell or
when that
Subway?
payload starts to come into the fray.
Absolutely keep those revives off the
To be honest with
board.
you, Subway in other countries, I heard is really good. Subway in America is shit.
On the board, they so far only have Mantis,
So if it was in a different country, I would pick Subway.
Sided Venom, of course, take that away from Chopped.
If it was in America, I'd cut off my arm and eat my arm.
So now the final ban going to be coming in for Chopped, seeing exactly what they're looking to try and pick up and play themselves. Right now it is just going back to that de facto, taking out as many strategists as you possibly can. It's going to be a Jean Grey, actually, who started to really creep
Subway in the Korea is so good. Yeah, I heard Subway is amazing everywhere
today,
else but the
really,
United
feels
States.
like.
I mean, then again, like, you know, the United States doesn't regulate anything.
Impactful characters post their release
Wait a
outside
minute.
of maybe
Woo!
Emma. Ultron's up there as well, but Jean Grey, when she came out, was one of the most picked and most impactful characters at the mid-season finals due to their ability of one being a hit scan character, to having incredible AoE, and most importantly, that ultimate N-Song Inferno. The ability to take out all summons, which of course is fantastic versus stuff like a Loki, which was very popular at the time. Actually, Rocket, who has snuck up in terms of priority here. You got to make sure you
I used to be a general manager at Papa John's, and I would always make someone else make the pineapple pizzas. I never touched pineapple. Should not be on pizza.
Onto stuff like the Lunar Snow, stuff like the Mantis, and basically, and especially the Venom as well. That's why we see it comboed so effectively with Magneto, which is exactly what Chopped are looking to go for.
Bro!
Seeing that trend, though.
Why did someone on my YouTube say chocolate chip cookies with mustard? Nah. Get him out. Blow up that guy's fucking computer. Take away the internet. Nah.
On the other side pretty much is the most common Vanguard duo, I would say. Just at a glance, both of them being very good in of themselves, but taking DRP away from the Venom and then stopping Beetle being on the Emma. It really does feel like you can make things a little bit more one-sided. Alongside, there's going to be the one-sided NAVI Mantis. And then Jeff and Jean Grey and Ultron for Chopped. So triple strategists aplenty seem to be the go-to for this one again.
Let's see how it works out as Chopped begin their
Okay, let's see this, chat. Come on. Second game. Let's see this.
Kitty looking to be sent flying. Naga,
come on.
Careful not to get caught out. You can see Beetle hiding off to the side with this thing. Sends out the Wolverine, sends out Crazy Kitty, who will not find a target. They're just going to reset Beetle after the throw, swaps over to the Groot. Not really wanting to try and run head first onto a defended objective with the thing.
Now Naga's going to try and hold off. Not really being under that much pressure, but just making sure the Chopped can't engage him on the high ground. Rajaro, especially alongside this Mantis, Jerky does take a lot of damage. Very lucky to not go down, but does damage boosts onto a 100 charge Rajaro, and the Emma Frost is just going to melt that front line. Even with all of the walls that Beetle can throw down as Groot, it's not going to give you too much protection, and it's going to force a lot of mitigation outside of DRP. This fight is not being tame at all from Naga. He's not afraid to go in and dive, even though that the picks are starting to trade out the side.
Naga Galactic Legend going to be dropped quite early, hoping that with the amount of damage they've done that they've managed to outplay some of these strategists, and they did for a while, but no overlap. Chopped. They get them both off cooldown so quickly that they were panicking, thinking the other one wouldn't be there in time. They dropped both at the same time, and as such, Chopped have no defensive tools left, but it might be enough. Level 1 Crook is down. Trust me, returning to the point with the feast from the
damn, Navi, come on, Navi. You guys gotta hold this longer than like. Okay, no, they're looking good. They're looking good. That's close though. 94.5%.
They are taken down. Level 1 Crook though also goes down for the second time in one fight.
And he still manages to keep the ultimate too.
Have I tried Black Ops 7 yet? No, I don't really like Call of Duty games that much. I feel like Call of Duty games are copy paste, call it a new game, change a little bit of the graphics, and charge another $100 for the game. I think it's a scam.
A little bit further than being full held on first point, and Soul Resurgence from Jerky is going to allow Naga a brief chance to go in for these barrages. It's not only doing damage to the backlines and forcing out some of these bigger cooldowns, but it is maintaining the tempo with those ultimates as a
unless they want to sponsor me. Yo, chat, if they sponsor me, I fucking love Call of Duty.
They are outnumbered. Last stand. Crazy Kitty just peeled open this point. Here comes a fate of both worlds, taken by the God of Mischief from level 1 Crook, allowing Naga to chase down everyone else as they retreat, gets the double, and that's going to keep NAVI in defense of this point as numbers go their favor. Naga barely escapes, but it's Fate who's picking up the final hits. They're trying to stagger DRP, and that is massively slowing down Chops.
Hold by NAVI, man. But Navi, Chop, you guys got to step it up.
These ultimates so quickly.
Also,
it
Minix.
shouldn't be that allowed
WCat.
for Naga to be able to go in and go for these barrages and not just be CC'd out of them, or at least punished, especially when there's no bulwark from a Magneto to protect him. The Magneto's on the other side from DRP. Now you just have to find some way of opening. You've got a great composition to just force the fight onto the point itself, but Beetle wants that strangling prison. He wants to really grab everybody together, but that flying nuisance is being swatted down from Crazy Kitty's Wolverine. The Feral Leap catching onto the right kind of target. Now all of the bodies from Navi are going to be there to contest.
Fate taking down Jerky, taking down the backline of NAVI is disintegrating here. And Rajaro, they have that Eye of Agamotto, but they can't use it. Getting completely eliminated. Strangling Prison, just not needed right now. Naga is out of there, not even going to attempt to try and contest that.
At least they capped, but that was a really good hold. That was a really good hold.
Eye of Agamotto isn't going to be used at all from Rajaro. He's going to switch over towards the Emma Frost now that the portal is on cooldown. But because of that swap at full...
Chat, how old is Jay? I just turned 21.
They can get that up as soon as possible. You can take very early fights here. That's what the meta has been on this second point of Central Park. Just get in there and make sure that Chopped are pushed all the way back towards attacker's spawn. Just buy as much time as you can.
21, chat. You guys are type. That's a weird typo. When you guys type 2, it's weird. You guys are saying like 4s and 6s and 21.
Nowhere near having that fate of both worlds. And Chopped not really having much that they want to dedicate to this fight. Still farming up the ultimates. The Strangling Prison used from Beetle. He wants to go for the offensive here.
Wait. Does that guy have his Groot walls on the cart and he's standing on them and he's like pushing the cart while attacking? Wait, that was fucking hilarious.
Opening. The cart continues to move forward, but this is NAVI now being able to reinforce. They can contest this one more time.
You guys saw that, right? That's interesting. I like that.
But DRP is fine. Jerky, though, it seems that Navi have tried to reset a little bit. They overextended and now being picked off one at a time. Not being afraid for Trust Me to go in for the dive, and the side of Seduction is pretty much fully dedicated to just CCing him, holding him down. Meteor M might put him out of his misery, but the deck is good enough for Naga to just try to get away. He has the Galactic Legend.
Come on, DRP. You gotta be better than that. You gotta stop going for those crazy LeBron dunks. He's not Steph Curry, bro.
Fate drops their own as well. In comes Naga with the Blaster Mirage. Pulled in. Bionica. Trooper's Fist. But still with the invulnerability phase. Rolls right into a straggling prison. Kraken Impact opens up the team. Resetting off the Loki clone. Almost misses it. But still holding the line. The freeze onto Trust Me. Adds one more to the pile. And
oh! I mean, he still gets the kill, but I hate that as Bucky, bro. He was about to get another reset, but that like stupid little he clipped that little pillar and it ruins the whole. So dumb, so dumb.
And Crazy Kitty just jumping through the.
I don't know if anyone here plays Bucky, but I hate that.
Now they had a win condition, right? Go over that Galactic Legend once those
true, Derek.
out. But I love that Beetle used that timing. Like, actually, gotta say, these Strangling Prisons from Beetle have been exceptional to keep them in it. It felt that Chopped might run out of steam, but they actually go on the offensive afterwards. But DRP keeps finding these picks. Navi are just free-falling with their numbers being reset. Jerky's able to at least trade out one. But this can't be the setup for the world champions. They're getting picked off in the neutral.
Jerky's able to get onto DRP. They've abandoned the Mantis. The Psylocke for some extra damage output. Face from the Abyss to chase on down. But Crazy Kitty is adding the crowd control to try and deal with this, to try and chase them off that point and try and deal with this Venom, who's able to grab the map heal, keep the sustain up as they keep the pressure on, and Trust Me will fall. But they're fighting so far off the point right now. The point was stalled for the entire duration of that fight, but with 2 people down, they're still going to get the duration and the distance. Fate has been sent off the side.
Yeah, Virgo just pulls him down into the Abyss. So now, again, it feels that now if he just don't hold on this at all, the trying to jump on him.
What the chat? The hell's going on? The hell's going on with the?
He's not used it since the second point, and now trust me, trying to dive in immediately has to dive out, but he still wanting to fight.
Bro, chat.
Trying to hold on to the point. Trust me, is dropped low. Raja has that side of seduction, which could be used for a little bit
The
of
fucking
delay,
AI is
contention
taking over, bro.
As right now, we see them pull, diving in to the backline for the setup, dance of the butterfly to weaken them all, but with no face in the abyss, they don't have enough damage to pull them in. A beautiful hook coming in once again from Crazy Kitty, but they're able to get out of danger. Jerky surviving this meteor is going to be sent, but finds.
Was that another DRP ult and then he didn't hit any? I don't know what DRP is trying to do, but he needs to go for like the easy maybe 1K kill.
Timed with the end of the invisible boundary comes on in with the galactic legend, the world.
Nah. Oh, what a grab to prevent the overtime.
That's what Navi were waiting for.
From Majaro, good shit.
First game of the
That's a good push though from Chop.
It's like Navi have this very protocoled approach.
That was a good push.
Everything out, use those kind of ultimates. And at this point, Naga knows that he is just the tool. He's the flashy one. He might be the poster boy when he's playing a duelist and such, but he knows that his job is to wait out all of those strategist ultimates and then come in with an ultimate like that, because he will clean up house 9 times out of 10. Chop just trying to fight fire with fire. That tenacious, zesty approach with the offensive.
This is the loser bracket or winner? This is the lower bracket finals.
And then a Kraken's impact to sort of go through it and catch.
I don't know why
Navi
this
by
says
surprise,
upper bracket
maybe.
finals. It's
It
not the
worked
upper
well
bracket
first
finals.
time, but the second Navi were just well positioned. And trust me, he's
Yo.
just in and out of these fights consistently. He's such a pain in the ass for Chop to deal with. It doesn't seem
This
to
is
really
the
go
lower
down.
bracket finals.
It doesn't. They just have full control.
This is an upper
of
bracket.
These fights so often. As
Who am I
such,
kidding, chat? They don't know who I
keeps the
am.
pressure on. He was picked up a couple times, but that was due to Crazy Kitty being forced to swap onto that Winter Soldier. And now
lower bracket
they're gonna make it a little
semifinals.
bit
Yeah, there you go.
different on the defense. Chop,
Lower bracket
they've
finals is
chosen
whoever
to
wins this
rely
and,
on the Jeff. If you can just
Virtus
out-sustain
Pro.
opponents, might better make something happen. Extra healing output from the buffed It's Jeff could give them the delay tactics that they do need. And of course, if you can take other people off the map, you hold that first point for even longer.
All you need to do is capture the mission area. Got it?
Trust
Damn,
me,
what a
going
fucking
for the
rollout.
run around. Be joined by Jerky. I mean, a lot of players actually be able to get into these flanks, including Magic. There's one I learned. I think Helis had a rollout that everybody was using, just to be able to get in behind and try to catch Chopped.
100 Thieves is still in. Yes, they play tomorrow, I'm pretty sure.
Seeing what information that they can get, whilst the rest of Navi is just posturing, breaking some of these walls. And trust me, he's relaying all of this information in the dark as well. You can see him in the corner, trying to be the light for the team to find out opening onto the attack.
Going in, trying to take out the Phoenix, but already Jerky falls. They tried to go for the 2 versus 2, but they get completely countered out here.
Damn, Trust Me just like fell over.
First attack is going to be repelled very casually. Even Trust Me falls in that backline.
Still triple strategist. Luna, Invisible Woman, and Jeff for Chopped. Crossfiring enough, playing from the high ground, maintaining the fact that Navi are going to struggle to dive in onto them. And trust me, moving away from that Venom that was protected to go for the fall, for something a little bit more on the point, Saturday Night Fever. Just hoping to take a few more chunks out of Chop's defense and forcing them onto the point away from this high ground.
Naga drops low, but able to roll out, gets that bonus health now, which is always fantastic, while also getting invulnerability frames. Meaning Naga can take these duels for a little bit longer, as that idle aura keeping them topped up and needs more healing. Forced to roll out, forced to retreat, and sets down that astral jump for the escape. Straggling prison from Beetle for the setup. Rajaro unable to find the target. Jerky falls down, meaning no Battle Rebirth Beacon, and it's gonna be Navi forced off the point. Trust Me moves over to the Thorn to try and give them some
come on, Navi. What's going on?
Completely blocking them out.
What's going on, Navi?
Now Chopped, the defense is holding on nicely for Navi. Might start to stress a little bit more. Rajaro on that Emma Frost now. And it does feel a little bit like, yeah, you've banked up some of these ultimates. Are you going to sort of be well aware that Mash and Vertigo aren't quite there with their own support ults to work with? Was this going to be Naga waiting in the wings with that Galactic Legend and potentially waiting a bit too long again?
Trust me, going to be moving into that backline, setting up. They're almost at that God of Thunder to see if they can take out the backline, if they can wait out for the end of this Awakening Rune to try and set up. It's Jeff looking for the defender, looking for the attackers in the backline. Finds Groot and Emma, but those are their own team, protecting them from the God of Thunder, saving them from the damage.
Chat, we might have a tied series after this.
Taken out by Rajaro, but Naga finds nothing. Rajaro is currently just having to solo this.
Oh, what a block. What a block from the Emma, bro. Rajaro, he's a really good tank player. He's a really good tank player.
The point is ticking up slowly but steadily, straggling prison to try and stop the rampage of Rajaro. Trust me returns. Naga finds Beetle, and the point ticks up. Beetle might be looking for a reinforcement. They're trying to knock DRP off the point to prevent the delay and stop that portal coming back in. But here comes Chopped with 38 seconds remaining, and Beetle brings back the team.
Oh, the portal just to go for a final hold on for Chopped. Galactic Legend, there it comes. It's been held on to for so much time, but the eliminations aren't necessarily streaking
Damn,
together.
bro.
Is able to take him
I
out,
saw
so
the vision.
now might start to be,
but the
in a bit of
vision
a
wasn't
mad
there,
dash
chat.
themselves
The
to try and
vision
touch
wasn't
point.
there.
It's
The
only 15
execution wasn't
seconds
there,
left,
man.
And Chopped now going
This
to
might
try
be
and rush
game.
them down to stop
We might have a tied series. We have a game, chat. We have a game.
Last chance. Otherwise, we're going to be evening up the map score. Going to try and interrupt that portal. Tuzi will fall with his numbers advantage. Naga up to the high ground, up to Crazy Kitty as they try and hold on to that low ground. If they get rid of that Jeff. That's a huge amount of healing taken out. Good freeze onto the Thorn to give extra seconds. Psionic Seduction onto Beetle to buy extra time. But the Fate of both ones keeping everyone topped up. Can they get enough damage?
I don't think Navi can win this.
Trying to chase down Mash. God of Thunder takes Mash down.
I don't know, man. I still think I think Chop still wins this.
Massively reduced. The Awakening Rune and Thorn, the God of Thunder.
Yeah, chat. I believed in Navi. I knew Navi was gonna cap that.
So now this is
Good
a big
shit, Navi.
test
I believed
for
in you guys.
Chopped, honestly.
Good shit.
They almost full held on Navi and maybe brought this BO5 into a 1-1. But eventually, it's just enough about the world champions to keep themselves alive on Central Park. For Chopped now, they don't want to lose this point. They still have to hold just before the end of this map. Second could give them so much of a chance.
Confirm the doubter. I believed in them.
They just need to keep themselves level-headed and not start to panic, and that's difficult when you've got the God of Thunder getting into your face, looking for a little bit more of a level-headed fight. The RP having a Meteor M might be looking to see if he can get into some of the strategist backlines, but there's just this battle happening in the castle, the alcove on the outside, as DRP finds himself another first elimination in these neutral fights.
Ash for Naga traded out here. It's Jeff.
Wait, it does say lower bracket now.
Grabs the Thorn out of this, and Crazy Kitty tries to get away, trying to take out someone. It's Trust Me who will actually fall, and Crazy Kitty trying to take him off the edge.
Wait, do you think they watch us?
Cannot survive the hose.
Now looking at it for now, they don't have control of the objective anymore, and I think it's pretty much just on this 90-degree angle. Forces everybody on Navi to be quite low down, and they don't have a choice to go for something like a Jean Grey, I don't believe. They have Torch and stuff. You could go for something a little bit more in the air and aerial threat, but you're also lacking an Ultron, so it seems to be just boots on the ground fighting at face level. Rajaro does have the Eye of Agamotto. You can see that he's thinking about trying to line up. How many possibilities are going to lead with Rajaro finding the picks needed here for Navi to keep this going, especially with 40 seconds left and after losing Crook?
That's going to remove a lot of their healing and a lot of extra damage from
chat. 30 seconds left. Both teams have almost all their ults. Who do you guys think is going to win the ult fest? Listen, as much as I think Navi is... I think Chopped is going to win this.
Have they got time to waste?
I think Chopped is going to win this.
And Navi have to pull the trigger, or we are heading into game 3 evened up. Media M looking in for the backline. Blind to see if they can catch someone cracking to try and lock them down, but Naga finds nothing. If Rajaro can get this Eye of Agamotto, though, that could buy them the extra time. Invisible boundary for the lockdown on both sides. Sent indeed, force physics to send them back. Tuzi with the Endsong Inferno to the
Oh, he jumped in the air to take... either he jumped in the air to take the fucking Phoenix ult, or he jumped in the air to block it. Or he was actually trying to aim for that guy. I don't know.
One by one, and Chopped are evening up the score.
I told you.
It's Central Park. It was their choice, and they made it work.
Also,
Now
I don't
they-
understand. I understand DRP is ulting, blah, 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 and like the other people are hiding underneath a shield under him. But I feel like it's better to use your ult on that shield to at least break that shield and throw it out of fucking nowhere, like, and that doesn't hit anything. I think it's still better to aim at the people, even though it gets blocked. It's still doing something. It doesn't. I don't know, chat. I'm not the pro.
The end, him and DRP finding so
Tuesday,
many key
damn.
eliminations, and the main brunt of them in the server.
I mean, they won,
Pretty sure
so,
he just
I mean.
face checked the Thor with that end song Inferno, literally directly to the face of the Thor mid-air. I'll have to go back and watch that at some point. But this is Chopped. Recovering Crazy Kitty, Crack, and Impact on that first offense as well was what carried them through that first setup. And in this second round, when it was time for defense, Tuzi really put in the work and put in the effort to turn that round and prevent NAVI from pushing in any further.
So now V have the choice, but it has to be specifically Convoy, which I believe for both of these teams is sort of like decent, not amazing, but like not bad. Like 4 wins, 5 losses for Chopped. Yeah, sort of expected when you get into these BO5s. And then 2 wins, 2 losses for NAVI. We haven't really seen an awful lot of them outside of Araco and Midtown.
It was, yes.
Yeah, Yggdrasil, he just goes for it.
I can't believe he point blanked a Thor mid-ultimate to save his team that round. Tuzi is on something else. This guy's absolutely wild.
Oh,
He's
so
the
he was
best
actually
job in the
trying
world,
to hit
dude.
that
This is
Thor. Okay,
incredible.
I thought the Thor jumped in the air
It's
to
always
actually
fun to
block
see
it
those
for
kind
his
of
team.
moments, and like characters like Thor also being brought out in the right times. But again, looking back on the draft, it seemed that NAVI had like their number, I suppose, of Chopped by going for the Venom and the Emma. But it was really good work from Beetle and DRP to make the Groot, to make the Magneto really work. Whether there's going to be an adjustment in the draft, we'll have to see, or whether they want to keep things going in favor of NAVI. They have the choice of maps. We'll see exactly where they want to take this one after a quick break.
A quick break, chat. A quick break. Okay, I gotta go pee. I'll be right back. Behave, chat. If I come back and you guys are not behaving, I will get very mad.
Mind crush. Priceless. Feel presence. Trapping all those fighting souls, but yet across the world I see you standing in my way. And remember the time, the place we used to fight, like the sun and moon. And I wonder if ever there was a time that we were friends. The night has fallen, shadows looming, and yes, that time has come for me to seek you out. We are set now for our last reunion. Break the chains, find your way, come fight me. Do
We just gotta think of stuff to do.
See the dawn, the flames burning brightly, shining on those memories. And yes, across all time I see you turning the tide.
When it comes to maps, Tetra, we have access to the multiverse when it comes to the different areas
like
we
so
can go.
cold.
We've just
It's not
finished
even
in
cold
Central
in
Park,
here.
of course, in New York City, and now we've decided to take us a couple of blocks away to Midtown.
Out of all of the options, out of everything you can do, and you choose over there.
Yeah.
That is what they have gone for this time. But it is a massive spawn hold map, which is something that we've not really seen these two teams go head to head on yet.
Yeah, Navi have only played this map, it says twice, but they've lost it once, so they've not won it. So I'm wondering where on earth that's sort of gone wrong, I suppose, for Navi. But for Midtown, it is only just seen it briefly for Chopped once, which they lost. So we are getting into that territory, certainly of like Convoy, where we've seen like Citadel Gaming 10-0 in
Are
the
you
game mode
cold?
now. It's like 2-2, 3-4 here for both these teams.
Babe?
It's just something that they don't want to rely on and haven't had to,
Emily?
because either they've won series 2-0 in a best of 3
Emily?
or lost it 0-2
Are
in
you
the best
cold?
of 3. Means that we don't get to see that
Okay.
much reps of these maps in particular.
Well, let's
Why
find
am I
out
so
who can
cold?
extend the lead here. We are sitting at 1-1 in a
I'm dying.
best of 5. So no matter what, both of these teams have to win 2 more maps, and each of those journeys starts with a single step, and that will be Midtown. Mash is teasing us as usual. So far, we've seen no Blade really in EMEA, despite other regions being a little bit gentle with giving him a chance. But yeah, don't think we'll be seeing that being played, especially from one of the strategists.
Pretty much is continuing on with both these teams trading out the Mantis and the Jeff to begin with. That's not going to change at all. Navi, every single time I've tried to take out the Mantis, but they're on
Okay,
the
chat.
attacking side
We have a
now instead of
tied even
defending
series.
first.
This is a game.
So, seems to be
This
for
is
Chopped at the
Navi's
very least.
map
Jeff
pick.
Ultron has
They
been
have
the
to- they
order
have to
that they've
win.
gone for.
They
Their
have to
draft
win.
order hasn't really
have to.
changed in the slightest. Whereas Navi have been a little bit more dedicated to protecting that Mantis despite letting it through
Take
the
care,
first
MP.
map.
Take care. Take care.
Very
Wait,
interesting.
MP's
This does
leaving?
give the
Oh shit, we can throw a
one-sided
party now.
Jeff over to Chopped. They have the option of Jeff or Ultron. That Jeff is going to be their first choice, and that is sensible because Ultron is quite effective against Jeff. So being able to one-side potentially both of them, if we don't see Navi ban out the Ultron, could still be quite effective. And there we go, Navi also once again reacting with some
Yeah,
Vanguards
I'm playing
being
I'm
taken
playing
away.
rank
It
after
didn't
this
work
until
last
the
round,
NA
but it
matches
has
start.
been effective in the past.
In fact, the
The
draft
MP,
is
go to
looking
bed,
eerily
bro.
similar to what we've seen so far. So what it was like, Chopped banned out the Jeff, the Ultron first. That's true. They have the ban of the Adam. That's coming.
Does anyone
so
know
that's
what
exactly
time?
the same, free for
Where's
free.
Shadow?
If they
Shadow's
go
been
for
my
a Jean Grey
go-to.
ban at the
Shadow, you know
end,
what time
that
the
would
NA
be
matches
pretty much
start?
lined up with what we saw beforehand.
Is it
But
6?
they've actually protected the Magneto, feeling that that might be something that is aimed for a little bit more. Making sure the DRP is something to play at is what it feels like.
Adam Warlock taken out, preventing a hyper revive on these big hold points. This is the opportunity where Chopped could try and take out the Doctor Strange to
7?
really prevent reinforcements for Na'Vi.
Oh, so 7 o'clock.
Na'Vi have
Okay,
the option to
awesome.
protect it,
Thank
but they have
you.
always prioritized other options when it comes to getting these hyper sustains and also for these longer drawn out fights like the Star-Lord.
It's a little bit different for Navi because they've gone for protecting the Venom last time. Otherwise, the draft is almost
No,
exactly the same.
Heart of Heaven
And
is
Jean
not on the
Grey
pro
actually
rotation because
coming
it's
in
too
as a
it's
ban
too
for
early of
Chopped
a
yet again,
of a
making it
map.
one-sided. So that's like Jeff, Ultron, Jean Grey on the side of
Oh,
Chopped.
yeah, it is 7
exactly
o'clock.
the
Okay.
same as it was on Central Park
Cool,
just
cool, cool,
then.
cool. Thank you,
and
thank
then
you.
it's Emma, Venom, and Mantis. It pretty much is these non-mirrored characters every single time available for these two teams. They know exactly what they want to build their compositions around. But I think the cool thing about this Tetra, now that we're seeing this kind of draft in play, it's not like the comps are the same every single time. There's so much variance in the characters in play, certainly for the Vanguards and the Strategists.
But this is the opportunity where they can actually play a little bit more in the duelist variety, as well as the spawn hold maps give the attacking team a little bit of flexibility to bring out characters who we normally might otherwise not see, like for example the Moon Knight and the Storm, who will almost always make at least a gentle appearance, if not the entirety of that first point.
Gentle is it's not really the term I would use. Like, yeah, it's a dip, but they pretty much kick the spawn doors down and go, everybody get out of the way, and throw in all sorts of celestial power. And then you got Punisher as well, that is just angry all the time and just holds mouse button 1. Is that going to be part of the plan? No, it's Moon Knight that's going to just be holding the mouse number 1 with the angst to sort of spread out some of this damage. Navi is attacking first, and Beetle really did a lot with the Strangler presence on the Groot. He is in a matchup though for Trust Me. The Venom is available to him, but on this point when it's such level ground, they just want to fight it head on.
And Beetle almost feels like they're out here alone. The strategists doing their best job to try and keep them topped up. But that is because we are seeing Chopped run a 2-1-3 with Tuzi sticking with the Phoenix. Not going to be moving on to a Vanguard or a strategist here. Just going to continue to try and pit out damage NAVI, who are once again going to be adjusting to a more standard composition, realizing they're not up against a really hard spawn hold. They're just playing a normal game. So it's time to bring out the Star-Lord. It's time to bring out the Wolverine to try and trap that Groot.
It might be just general gut feeling, but I feel like Mash is finding a lot of these final hits. Certainly for a Lunar Snow, it feels that his name is coming up in the elimination feed a decent amount. And it just means that like everybody's focusing on the right targets. And in a fight where Chopped were looking to back out a little bit, Beetle surviving by the skin of his teeth if he has them as Groot. I don't want to really think about it. But it's the fact that they're able to counterattack and take on these engagements. The Strangler Prison is going to be good. And whilst Navi have actually pushed up, Tuzi's going for such an aggressive play by going in for the flank. The Strangler Prison of the wall is going to try and separate some of these sight lines. And just again, Tuzi gets the perfect pick at the perfect time. He gets onto Naga just as the invisible boundary comes up from Crook.
Who's stopping him? He's just pegging away. Trust me, he's finally going to turn around and try and do some damage to him, but Tuzi is literally just hanging out. He's having a lovely time doing damage while the rest of Chopped continue to delay this as long as possible. Strangling Prison was good. They didn't find as many finishing blows as they might have otherwise liked, but they forced out an invisible boundary. They still stalled the cart for quite a bit, and now they've been able to pull back, regroup, and they're still keeping this cart held.
Ooh, Tuzi might have got a bit more than he bargained for, even if he had some of the support from Crazy Kitty. He goes down as well. Naga 1 versus 2, battling in the corridors, able to find some space for Navi, who were struggling a little bit on making that progression. And Chopped, they have 5 ultimates to sit back on. It seemed that they were sitting pretty, but losing 2 players like that might cause a little bit more of a pandemonium.
They are starting to creep back forward again. Beetle setting up a double Groot wall to give room for the rest of the team to step out forward. Straggling Prison not at the ready, so they have to rely on other engage tools like that Media M, like an It's Jeff, and it's going to be the Silent Seduction that's going to be the first trigger pull. DRP with a Media M into the backline, turns it instead directly onto Rajaro to try and burst through the attack. And Tuzi,
I don't know if I'm not a mag player, chat, but DRP's ults are making me mad.
From directly above, waiting for the expiration of the invisible boundary.
Damn, everyone got so low, but no. Oh, okay, they got one. Bro,
life energy of the Phoenix Force being used for its antithesis as they burn through the attackers, and Navi are
like I would be going for if I'm mag ulting, I'm going for a guaranteed kill, bro. Like he was aiming at the supports, which I mean, maybe fate would have faded that though.
Possibly an option to go for a portal play, especially with how far away that payload is. But I just feel like Chopped are going to be
personally want Navi to win,
where they sort of looked at
but I do think Chopped is a very good team as well. I don't know. I feel like
from just attrition
it sucks to have to only have one of these teams make it to the finals.
Barnacook tried to look for a turnaround to see if they could get isolation, but they did not flick quick enough, so they weren't able to pull them even further, creeping forward. And while we are starting to see Navi creep that cart forward, they haven't moved in quite a while. Here comes It's Jeff looking for the attackers. What a Dark Force teleport!
Yo, what's up, Millen? How you doing? How you doing?
Beautiful fate. Crazy Kitty gets sniped off the point. Naga is taking out the defenders, and Navi creeping on in. They're able to take that first point.
Seems to be more of the same, but like Central Park, we can't see Chopped full holding. It goes down to the wick again, but Navi playing around it very nicely. But like Central Park, maybe there's a chance for Chop to stop the action here, just like we saw from Citadel Gaming a little bit earlier. But NAVI, you can see how much space they're trying to take already.
There was a
past
big
this, like,
fire
horseshoe
explosion
that the cat needs
refinery
to
near
move
my
around,
work.
Trying to
Oh my.
spot where this
Hope you're
offensive is going
safe,
to come
dude.
in from Chop.
Jesus.
The RP up on the high ground is going to be forced back down off of it, but the Ensong Inferno is going to try to come through, as well as Meteor M. That combination not in sync at all. Just the ultimates used at the right time, but in different
What's up,
places
Exterminator?
and different spots. Kraken's impact is going to be a little bit more concentrated firepower for NAVI, but the numbers are still there for Chop to be fighting into this. Silent Seduction is going to try and pull them back in, but there is some at least protection from Chops with the Fate of Both Worlds.
Mash buying as much time as they can, but NAVI once again reinforcing, making their way back in and start to make their way down the ramp, looking to try and push Beetle back. We don't need to deal with the walls if we make sure that the Groot isn't there to capitalize off them. So it's hyper aggression from NAVI right now, as Beetle is trying to create some space for himself, but that fantastic car is creeping in step by step, 69% of the way towards the straggling prison. It's Jeff also around the corner, but
Wait,
Fate taken down.
Velocity, you guys ready?
To be a menace.
Hey, you guys played
He's
it?
so good in these clutch moments. Even
Yeah,
though
you guys
it's
do
not
play today, right? Sentinels against
really
Dark
the
Zero. You
end
guys ready
of
for
it
today?
For NAVI, 50 seconds now.
It's gonna be a great game.
And there's not really too much for Chop to rely on ultimate-wise yet either. Strangler Prison is pretty
It's gonna be a great game.
It's just I'm always nervous about NAVI in these
X
fights because they
Sentinel
always have
players
enough about
against
them.
Sentinel.
But Chop, it is just a mad scramble to get whatever ultimates they can online and not give up these picks for free. Everybody's playing so safe, so conservatively on
It's gonna be a good
defense.
game, man. Gonna
And
be a
for
good
NAVI,
game.
It's everybody just grabbing onto the point,
Yes,
using whatever they have to keep it going as we hit 20 seconds again.
Navi is the X-Rad team.
Set to the sky, invisible boundary, Meteor M for DRP, takes out Naga, buys some extra time, straggling the prison onto the backliners to try and burst on through.
And Rad picked up a basically like a streamer team in NA, so Rad is now NA.
Every extra second they can, it's Jeff to try and catch them and take them off the board, trying to flee. Crazy Kitty heading to the underground because
is he gonna get it? Ooh, I don't know if he's gonna even live.
Still gonna go down. No, I think Fate is still fighting.
Wait, Fate is still alive.
And so Jerky is actually able to cut through. Crazy Kitty couldn't get anything with the ultimate at all. And this isn't quite the second checkpoint for Navi, but over time.
Wait, Fate lived and Navi actually won the team fight. Damn, wait, not yet, not yet. They haven't won yet.
Again,
Okay, they won.
But they just can't put it to bed.
Overtime ticks down, but the point is taken. We exit the underground into the basement of the Fisk building as we make our way towards Avengers Tower, the final point. And Navi, they don't have a lot of time. 1 minute and
The mag doesn't want to
15
farm
seconds,
support
but
ult, so he'd
Chelsea,
rather
like
hit
you
no
say,
one, so
they
the supports
keep
can't build
dragging
ult
out this
charge.
overtime. They keep
It's a
burning the
mag
whip on
ult,
the
bro.
cannon,
I'm
but
pretty
they
sure
just
mag ult can
cannot
just
seem to
one-shot
get
any
the
support.
finishing blow. Navi are relentless. They keep reinforcing. They're still got.
Like I said, chat, I'm not a pro. I know, I realized what I said on the first point when he was ulting and then he went for the Emma instead of the supports. They do have a cloak. The cloak can just fade it. But a lot of the other ults are questionable, in my opinion, at least. I don't know what he's thinking about in the moment, but yeah.
Where you have to be scared about where Tusi is playing from. He is the sole duelist on this team right now as the triple strategist is in play from Crazy Kitty. Meteor M looking to see what kind of tag he can get, but it's blocked masterfully.
Like,
from
come on,
Rajaro,
chat.
just off the back of the
Like, come on,
seduction,
chat.
able to keep his team alive.
Like,
Tusi has found himself a lovely perch,
like, come on.
the phoenix that sits upon their shoulder. They're trying to spot everyone using that third-person camera to see if they can go away again for a flank. They are spotted though, but they still matter. Diving on in from the backline, looking for the vanguards. Naga's gonna just try and body block them. They wrap around, going for the Tokyo Drift, able to escape out of danger here and help chase back the members of NAVI, who have to use the Eye of Agamotto to try and contest this on the point. But Tusi's in the backline with the melee weaves, getting the extra sparks, the extra damage output. It's Jeff to remove the attackers from the point. Grabs 1-for-1 to try and delay this, but the Fate of Both Worlds coming in from Fate, the Eternal Bond, sorry.
oh, he's not going to be able to put him in the spawn, but he's there.
Making it into the spawn. They sustain through, but if Naga goes down, is Portal available? It will still be on cooldown.
Oh,
so they have the
no.
reinforcements.
I think if
this
Naga's
is
gonna
a
die, he
weird
has to die now so he can get the
Naga
portal.
goes down. He's gonna be out for 12 seconds before portal can maybe come in.
Oh
But Navi,
shit,
they were
chat.
in
That might
OT
be
for the
a...
first and second checkpoint,
Is
able to force it
he
to
got
the end.
one!
Now it feels
Oh
that
shit, he
that
got it on
steam is
Fate,
going
our
to
boy.
just run
Up,
out a
chat.
little bit more.
07
Finally,
Fate.
Chopped could stop this payload
Hey, but at least he
moving,
got one.
But there's gonna
That-
be
that was a good
thought in the
push.
back of their heads
That was a good
texture that's
push.
thinking, we could have done this on first.
Is there a link for the bracket?
They
Yes,
really could have.
exclamation
There were
mark,
several
tournament.
opportunities where this could have gone either way multiple times. This could have been done a little quicker by Navi. This could have been hailed a little
All
bit
I'm saying, if
better
I was
by
there, I
Chopped.
would have got 3
Both
points.
these teams,
Cloak,
neither one's gonna be
you don't
especially
even
happy
play this
with
game
that
anymore,
round.
bro.
But the
You would have
fact
gotten
is,
0.
Chopped were able to hold Navi
0.
pre a third point, meaning that it is almost
You don't even play
impossible now
Tarkov
for
with me
anything
anymore.
other than a result that isn't a draw.
Which is coming out next month.
Feel that protection, oh, not even protection. I think it was just a one-way ban from Chopped right at the end of this draft.
Have you seen my Black Panther?
Working quite well.
Your Black
Tuzi's
Panther
able to go for something
is like...
that fits in the triple strategist, that is able to put out a good amount of damage from distance. It has the verticality.
It's like if you
we saw
took your
Tuzi
mouse
moving
and
into a nice
keyboard and you
three-bedroom
actually
flat
inverted the
somewhere in
controls for the
Midtown,
first time and
just
you try to
playing
play.
up on that high ground, waiting for Navi to get a little bit too deep in these engagements before he slams down on them with that fire damage.
Also, I don't know if you like
Shots on
Tarkov
attack.
Arena, but Tarkov Arena has actually been a lot of fun.
To do, but the
I've been enjoying Tarkov so much lately.
They've really not gone down too much in these engagements. Certainly when you
From the
compare it to
first time we
likes
played till
of
now,
Jerky, that's gone down quite a lot.
it's a big difference.
And Chopped once again looking at their more unique style of playing on attack. They don't like playing Punisher with damage boost or
No,
Moon Knight
no,
with damage boost.
no.
What they like doing is completely displacing and disjointing defenders. Crazy Kitty on Wolverine. They've got Tuzi on the Winter Soldier. We don't care how much healing you have if you're not near your healers.
Navi
You can
wanted to try
smash your
to
face on the keyboard and be able to
stay
play Black
in
Panther. Okay, chat, let's
Cycle
relax
Navi
here.
for
That
the most part.
that's a little too
Going for
crazy.
These dives, which, oh my god, trust me, overextends massively. He was maybe expecting a little bit more support, but no. Chopped with all of that CC,
Oh,
almost
shit.
just waiting for the fish to take the bait and then yank him
Wait,
out
what
of
the hell?
existence. So now Navi are still fighting this one to play it down. It's not going to be too long before they have that Captain America back in the fight. In fact, he's here. It's like he never left. He's come back in to try.
I've
and
never played
finish what he
Tarkov, waiting till
started,
Bungie
but
drops
immediately
Marathon
the
as my
focus
first
is
extraction shooter.
Trust me, in an earshot, able to smash his way into a good
Didn't-
few picks as Chop has to reset.
Didn't Bungie like do something with Marathon recently? Didn't they like delay it?
Completely shutting down Chopped at this early push.
Be-
But Chopped already
I'm pretty
about
sure they
halfway through this first point have been able to set themselves up nicely, and it's only going to take one mistake.
I was actually
for Crazy
very
Kitty or
excited for
Tuzi
Marathon,
to
and then I
shut
saw it
down Navi
like
and create a
come out, and I
cascade
kind of
effect
got
of eliminations.
disappointed.
Trust me, he's pretty much IGL in this team.
But
relaying
what
this
I was gonna
information of
say
where
is
this
I
guy
think
wants to come
Tarkov
in.
is probably gonna be the
Just
best
wants to be
extraction shooter.
annoying. He's happy to sort of take
A
the
lot of
focus
people say
because he
Arena
wants the
Breakout,
two free
sorry,
plays
Arena
to
Breakout
chop on his
Infinite, but
payload.
Arena
The
Breakout
turnaround
Infinite is
to
like
deal
pay to
with it, even if
win.
he gets eliminated, he's gonna be back
I
into the
don't
fight
I don't
fairly
like that.
quickly.
I think
Look how
Tarkov
much
is probably gonna be the
focus
best
and
one.
attention he's taken,
And
even
Tarkov's
down
learning
close,
curve
dedicated.
is
It
so
means
fucking
that
high. And
Navi
it's
have
fun.
At least a chance to take the head-on fights with a player advantage. The leap is
The
going to
one
bring
thing I
on
really
level of
do enjoy about
competition.
Tarkov,
Gets the Soul Resurgence out
besides
just before
the high
that.
learning curve,
Unfortunately, however,
I
he
think
goes down
Tarkov is the
quickly,
very
the
first
back's gonna
game that
bring
makes
straight in.
me actually like it makes me tense my body up, and when you get a kill and be in a team fight, it's another when you get in a team fight and you win, it's very satisfying and adrenaline's pumping, and bro, it's so fun.
And with the help of Beetle, they take down Steven, pushing onto the point to melt through the
Yeah,
Raiders.
I haven't.
It's time for
Oh,
a cascade, a capitalization, and
still a
a
good hold from
capture of
Navi.
the first
Almost
point if
what,
they
2
can
minutes
break
and 20
the
second
one
hold.
last
I didn't
hold
play
of Navi.
Arc Raiders, but I don't know if I like a
Navi
third
towards the strength
person
from Navi. Doesn't
extraction
look like
shooter.
it.
No portal. They have time.
I hear a lot of people say it's good, but I don't know.
Keep it saved, Navi, not feeling the stress of this fight just yet. I mean, Chopped sort of flubbed their lines going for a portal play yesterday in a potential qualifying game against Virtus Pro, dedicating it too early and it not mattering too much in the end. But Navi, their go button is going to be this fate of both worlds. Level 1 Crook finds that first pick onto Crazy Kitty. It means that Wolverine isn't going to keep Feral leaping his way into pulling this backline into little shreds. Tuzi trying to deal with this dive
That's
that
true.
keeps coming in from Trust Me, but it's
I don't know. I feel like I'm too invested in Tarkov, and Tarkov is officially coming out after 54 years in beta. I feel like
Joffrey's just trying to harass them all.
I don't want to play two extraction shooter games. I'd rather just play one and get good at one.
But they'd rather hold on to it. This is Chopped pretty safe here. They put almost every defensive tool for Na'Vi, and they are now grouped up on a composition that they like. They brought out a Human Torch and a Phoenix.
Yo, chat, last fight, Na'Vi.
They've got the right tools for it.
What the hell was level 1 Crook doing, bro? What? It's the last fight!
It's gone down. Fate and Naga not having any ultimates to maintain this fight if it goes on a bit longer. But the support ult for Trust Me is going to keep the sustain going.
Being good at a video game isn't the J3 brand. Whoa, 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 whoa. Top 500 in Overwatch, top 500 in Marvel Rivals. When I played Tarkov, I played Tarkov on Arena for Twitch Rivals, and we won Tarkov Arena Twitch Rivals. Hey, when I play games, I play to be the best.
To try and keep this going, to still have the Soul Resurgence, which has to be used because Trust Me is dropped low, retreats into the fight. No, Tuzi has that End Song Inferno, which could be used for the defensive invisible boundary.
A Rice Boy for 17 months, appreciate it.
Get staggered once again, overlapped by Chopped.
Chat, bro. Every time I watch DRP ult, bro, I get a little tilted. If they show me one more mag ult, I will probably scream into the mic.
The Supernova, those that burn brightly, burn out twice as fast as they try to give every second they can. Tuzi is going to portal in to buy every extra second. Two are down. Na'Vi are trying to hold this, but they're running out of bodies. The Cosmic Yard Amplifier expires.
Where's Velocity? Is Velocity still in my chat?
Are reinforcing. Trust Me is delaying. Rajaro is holding the line. And Fate
Yo, Velocity, you're a fucking pro. What the hell is DRP doing? I have seen this guy hit 1 out of, I'm not even trolling, and I'm not trying to be mean. He's hit 1 out of 54 ults.
Holding that portal for so long. They're keeping it going. Invisible boundary for Vertigo to give them the extra healing to try and slow them down onto the point. Everyone is still here. BRB, Rajaro, about to fall. Barely sustained. Hold on.
Oh, shit.
Finds no stuns. Tuzi falls. And with
Yeah, the commentators, I will say the commentators for this tournament, for all of it, have been amazing when it comes to these overtime situations.
no health left on that point. If
I don't think this guy took one breath. One breath.
Na'Vi are running out of tools. They finally charge up to a Fate of Both Worlds and a Silent Seduction to try and pull them off the point. There's only Rajaro, but Fate of Both Worlds is staggered on in. Trust Me finally gets taken down. The Human Torch is sieging on him from above. DRP drops low. It's only Beetle on the point. If they get taken off, it's over. Crazy Kitty from above is trying to set it up, trying to drop the damage, but there's no tools left. Beetle is taking him down.
They actually capped? No fucking way, bro.
Hold on for that one. They ran out of
no fuck. We're not going to talk about that DRP ult, but holy shit.
He got deleted. Tuzi, he had the Eye of Agamotto. He was 10 HP. Tried to use it. He got deleted. There was no ultimate follow-ups from Chopped.
No,
it was
bro.
Just Beetle running in as Captain America.
Like,
punching their
I'm sure
living
DRP is a really
daylights
great,
out of them,
like, you know,
and then
player.
switching over to Groot as we get onto the second checkpoint. The overtimes feel as long as the actual maps
You know,
themselves. Teji.
but
This
you know
is
what
crazy.
DRP is looking like right now?
Na'Vi, they see that finish line. They just have to take down Chopped. They have to stop this car. It was a sliver of overtime, but Chopped just won't go down. The jerky falls. Freedom Charge has to be used, but Crazy Kitty is carving a path of flame through for Chopped to try and get onto that next point, trying to chase down Trust Me, who once again is able to flee. But while they are causing a lot of chaos in the backline, what
I'm
are
not
they
trying to be
doing
mean.
stop the car right now?
And DRP is so much better than me, obviously. But DRP is reminding me of this.
It feels like as he springs up onto the picks, onto all of Na'Vi, you've got Naga trying to come in with the Kraken's impact, but it's pretty much silenced.
Come on,
it's
man.
a murmur on the ground
Cut.
as Tuzi is putting this series into his back pocket, and he's pushing on to make sure that Na'Vi can't contest second.
Rarajaro's on Angela to try and rush in, to touch, to buy time. Frozen, locked down, bopped, but they bought seconds. Now here comes Psylocke, also taken down, and it's the slow trickle of one by one. They have to burn Fate of Both Worlds to try and delay
show
this.
chat?
What is the end game here?
After
You've just
this,
lost two
this is
people. You're
40
taking
seconds.
6 versus 4, and the result is incredibly predictable.
You can't let
I have 100 gifted subs. I'm doing this. I have 100 gifted subs. If DRP gets 1 kill, 100. Dude, chat. 100.
But DRP finds those first eliminations every single
Wait,
time.
I hope he doesn't hit the
NAVI are
next
just trying to farm up some ultimates, posture themselves, get Jerky into position on the Psylocke, and then DRP is able to connect onto Rajaro, onto Trust Me, onto Fate. In just these fights where he's throwing out pot shots more than anything. But he has the Meteor M, which is the biggest pot shot that you can have. But there's a lot for Chop to be using here to keep the momentum going, including the Strangling Prison for Beetle. It's going to force out the Dance of the Butterflies on the other side, but Fate goes down.
Crazy Kitty is doing a lot of damage in that backline, creating a bit of an opening. Rajaro finds Vertigo off on the flank, but Crazy Kitty is chasing down all the split members of NAVI, doing huge work. Ensong Inferno does not find a target, but Crazy Kitty continues to do so, creating openings, chasing back. There's the finish.
That was a good ult, though. That was a good ult. I mean, chat,
right now.
you got pay up.
And we're seeing Navi playing scared.
Pay up, chat.
But it's also very secure. They don't want to overextend. They don't want to make any mistakes now. Otherwise, that's Chopped being on series point and qualifying point to
Chat, pay
Atlanta
up.
instead of the world champions that won the last international event. Tuzi finds himself now going to overextends to try and go in for the barrage. He was 10% away from having a Galactic Legend Tetcher. He overextends, maybe gets greedy. And that's a 6 versus 5 in favor of Chopped.
It's a fast rollout though. Visible Boundary going to be traded for the fate of both worlds. Psionic Seduction from Rajaro. Tuzi is taking cover.
I'm so glad that they're changing that, though.
Again. The damage output from this Phoenix is insane. Galactic Legend was finally built up, and it's a fast rollout of character. Startled onto the point, but another hold. Vertigo with the Invisible Boundary traded for Fate's fate of both worlds this time. He's struggling Prison. Freedom Charge to give them the extra help to try and sustain on through this, but Tuzi is building up towards an ultimate, but with Vertigo
Oh
down,
shit, Chopped almost. This was a really good game.
nothing left to sustain.
Wow. Wait, can they get the
with
portal? Can they get the portal?
inches to go.
I know that. No, they can't.
Down, and NAVI are gonna take the lead.
And there's no chance for a portal from Matt. She was trying to get there. And the adjustment from Navi, just as we're sort of looking at going and talking about
Good shit.
Tuesday,
Good shit by
especially
Navi. That was a really
Crazy
good game,
Kitty
though. That was a really
great
good game.
moments.
Hold on. I wanna
Jerky
see
goes,
the stats
"Do you
real quick,
guys
and then
forget about
we'll
me?"
show.
And comes in with one of the most clutch Dance of the Butterflies that we've seen so far this tournament.
No.
Jerky was targeted so many times. It literally just took one though, because Tuzi.
Oh, DRP still
can't
popped
be
off.
everywhere
Without
at once. Tuzi
DRP is a really good player, but I'm just saying, like, his
21
ults need
of those
work.
being final hits. That is double literally anyone else in the game except for Crazy Kitty.
I
And it's
personally think that. I
still
mean,
not
he's
enough.
still popped off. Also, Crazy
It
Kitty is
doesn't even
winning
compare.
crazy.
Tuesday and Crazy Kitty with the eliminations almost double.
Okay,
if
chat,
not
look at this.
more so.
I got a little surprise for you guys. Come look at this. Oh, not my forehead. Look at this. Take it away. Take it away. Look how good you look. Look at this, chat. It's Psylocke.
I'm so shy.
What do you mean you're shy? You look good. What do you mean you're? But you want me to do cosplays? You look good. I'll try on the cosplay later and see if it even fits for chat. She looks good. I don't know why she's shy. You always say you want to wear that in like at TwitchCon or something, but you don't want to do it for my chat.
Actually have the advantage over Chopped. High pressure situations. You got to remember that some of these players are young, and when you are in what is for Chopped in particular.
J3, can you do the
potentially
Lunar
most
Summer
important
cosplay
game
skin? Yeah,
of
you know
their
what? If
lives
you win
up
your
to
next
now.
game, no, I'm not doing that, by the way.
Their
No, no,
for
no.
Atlanta is
No.
now one map away from being taken away from them. They now have to fight against the world champions in what is essentially their elimination match and keep a steady head on their shoulders. NAVI, they've done this. They have gone through these qualifying positions. They've gone through the qualifying rounds in the mid-season finals. They've gone through the lower bracket in the mid-season finals. If there's any team that can keep a steady head on their shoulders in a high-pressure situation, it's NAVI. Can Chopped.
Yeah, it's such a big ask for them. Looking at the maps that they've picked before, they can go Hell's Heaven for domination and 3-0 on it. But
J3,
everything
we need
else,
an
it's just
Overwatch
like
stream
one pick.
soon.
It feels like
Listen,
Chop don't know what they're.
I would love to stream Overwatch soon, but considering how one of the other fellow Marvel Rival players who loved playing Overwatch went to go play Overwatch lately and got flamed for playing Overwatch because of the community, I don't know. know, man. I've never seen a game gatekeep their own game before. No, they're going on break. No. Just a bunch of Twitter drama, chat. Listen, I'm good, bro. I'm good. Just a bunch of people who live online, and yeah, it's fine. I still like Overwatch though. I'm gonna play it. I'll definitely play it sometime soon. But right now we're watching the tournament. I'm really invested in Marvel Rivals like esports right now. I love watching it. I think it's just a bunch of drama everywhere. Lazy. I mean, I don't think both parties are in the right. I think also Twitter is a very, you know, I think people on Twitter need to go outside and touch some grass. But yeah. Yeah, I rarely use Twitter now. When I use Twitter, I rarely use it. I mean, I still post stuff. Like, I post stuff about Marvel Rivals. That tweet popped off. This one did well. I think the Devil's Lord icon was really fun. That one was really funny. The Daredevil cosplay was funny. Yeah, I rarely use it now though. Me twerking, yeah. Bang. I go to Twitter to see rival leaks and get golden key. What? Don't look at leaks, man. Come on, leaks are not good, bro. Leaks are not good.
Bust it down in the Psylocke cosplay for Dark Zero win.
Okay. You are. First of all, you'd see my whole ass. Yo, Austin, appreciate the massive dono, my friend. I appreciate it. I'm probably too big for that. I appreciate it. Listen, no. Maybe you guys might get a cosplay for Halloween. We'll see if you guys behave. Listen, my thighs are pretty big, chat. I can't fit into a lot of things. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Look at that. Look at that. My thighs are huge.
Map number 4 is coming up. This could be it. If NAVI are able to take this, they are once again going to an international.
Wait, I want to see something.
By securing their spot on the plane to Atlanta. They'll need to make sure that they get that middle row so that you have the 4 seats next to each other so that you can talk strategy. Did I say 4? That's right. PlayStation 4 is where the game is now available. You can now play it on the PlayStation 4 as well as all the consoles and PC that was available before, with all features now available.
Yo, Webster, I appreciate the massive prime and Runic for 46 months.
If you want to pick up Daredevil when he comes out, you can get it the exact time as everyone else.
I searched up Punisher summer skin cosplay. There's nothing, chat.
All of the different game modes and stuff coming, and like you mentioned, cross progression.
What is that's not Punisher?
To remind you what these teams are playing for, as we go back into this, it's Atlanta. It's the International Grand Finals event, the biggest event that we've seen in Marvel Rivals so far, $1 million prize pool. NAVI won the last international event that we saw, which was in the East, it was in China, but going to the
You
West
looking up on Amazon like they're going to have it?
What
else do you guys use for
previously for
that?
That's moved over towards North America. But Chopped,
what?
They're just taking it a game at a time, and they found themselves on the precipice of maybe qualifying for an event, but also at the precipice of being eliminated and knocked out of Ignite for this year.
How many world champions must EMEA win until we get a LAN? That is the question. But either way, we've already taken the first one, but the world champions are close to not qualifying. If Chopped can take these last 2 maps, then NAVI will not be going to Atlanta and Chopped will take their place. It comes down to wherever we are heading next. We have been informed Hell's Heaven will be the next map. We are heading back to Domination,
Hell's
where
Heaven.
Chopped have
Is that
continuously
the...
excelled.
Makes sense. It's been 2 picks and 3 wins for the side of Chopped. 3 and 0 so far. So they're undefeated in this domination.
The lag
game.
fest,
Really,
chat. The lag fest. I don't...
that they had before. The concern is looking at Navi stats all the way back to when I think they were like Luminosity. They're 8 and 3. It's like their best performing domination map. They're not the best team on domination, don't get me wrong.
8 and 3?
When you look at the actual like tallies of wins that they've had through Ignite.
Wait, who's 8 and 3?
Since the start of this pretty much circuit, this is the map that they've won the most on and played the most. They're not afraid of playing on Hell's Heaven at all here.
They are,
Navi is
frankly,
8 and 3,
but they are going up
on that
against
map
Chopped to play some very interesting strategies sometimes. They are a hard team to draft against because they play quite differently to essentially everyone else.
Chopped has a really great, has a really good King of the Hill team though.
How do Chopped dictate this draft when their tournament lives and that land spot are on the line?
It seems that the draft has been pretty much the same outside of a couple of like permutations and deviations towards the end. For example, here, Chopped have been banning out the Jeff first. For NAVI, they've been banning out the Mantis first and then trying to basically force this one-sidedness. That's not going to change here.
Sticking pretty standard for the moment. NAVI now with their protect, they can protect that one-sided Mantis, keep the pressure on with that damage boost that has worked for them a couple times, that has been effective when they've especially been able to get Naga on stuff like that Star-Lord.
So now here it's sort of followed that there's been an Ultron ban pretty much every single time. That continues, so that's 4 for 4. And then the protection of the Jeff is going to come in for Chopped. It really doesn't feel like this is a draft issue for either team. It's just how these certainly
this is very scary.
But Navi, this is
Chopped is a very good what do you call it, domination team. But Navi did win the first map, which was domination.
The
so
next ban, like you say, this is where they can start to be a little bit more creative.
Also, now it's starting to get hot.
Bans. Could be going for a little bit more onto the Judas if they want to try and take out that Phoenix.
Emma again.
Has happened before. They're going to stick with Emma, at least for the start. Again, there are some points on this map, especially that Super Soldier Factory point, where there's some great environmental hazard pickups where Emma can excel.
Seems that Trust Me is usually in the driver's seat when it comes to the draft, and that's staying the same actually. It is just Mantis, Emma, Venom all being banned out, and then there's Adam towards the end pretty much every single time. In fact, I think Navi have not changed their draft at all.
Domination really means less chance for DRP to play Mag. I think he's a great player, chat. I think he's probably just having an off day with his ult. I don't know. I don't play Mag. I don't know what you're supposed to be doing. I just think if you ult, go for a kill.
Magneto, while DRP did not have a lot of luck with those Meteor M's in that last
or at least
round,
try to hit something.
Yo,
what's up, Pokey? How you doing? How you doing?
Allows them to potentially protect Jeff, protect stuff like the Phoenix, just basically putting all of their eggs into whatever Tuesday is playing or whatever Crazy Kitty is playing, and just keep that extra sustain on them.
One series away from a free dinner.
Luna, try and remove of course, the Idol Aura, that snowflake that can give you a lot of once again hyper carry potential onto a single duelist, and the protection from NAVI onto the Phoenix this time.
Yeah, but the reason he's not throwing it at a squishy is because they had a cloak, and I'm pretty sure the cloak would have fade. That was that map, but I don't know about now. Is Fate the person that you always play with? Yes.
Could be a good option, but what
that is the Fate that I duo with sometimes, yeah.
Series is the question for Chopped.
You want to eat at Nobu? Shit, bro, you paying?
Either side. I honestly thought there could be a protection coming in from Navi because they were making sure that they kept the Luna for the most part.
If you're paying, I'll go to Nobu.
Chopped want to maintain the fact that there is not going to be a Fate of both worlds available on either side, but an Adam is going to be available for Chopped.
Trust me, going to be looking for that Venom once again. There is no Jeff available for them, but it is available for Chopped. They have the Adam and the
I'll have to
Jeff
look at the
available.
Menuverse.
Do they prioritize one?
Nobu is very good food,
want to play something a bit more
but it's also very
aggressive?
expensive.
We'll have to
I've been to Nobu a few times, and I think the worst time I went to Nobu, I went to Nobu with my dad, and I was like, I was celebrating something with my dad. I was like, Dad, you know what? Whatever you want, you can get. I think he had like 4 sakes. He had like lobster. He had whatever. Yeah, that shit. I didn't see my dad for the rest of the month. I think that shit was like $800 for just me and him.
The Hydra scientist that's
Nah.
put into like a computer and stuff was in the Winter Soldier film.
Strucker?
No. I'm in Zola.
Nah.
Zola, that's it.
My dad.
Just do that with me. Just make me an AI and.
When you
just
tell your
make
dad
sure
to
that
order
I'm
whatever he wants, the lobster
not
there,
allowed on
the lobster
YouTube
there,
to
which
just
was
be
really good,
watching,
is
like,
$100.
the anti-anxiety
And then the
video, because
sake
I'm
that my
gonna
dad
leave
was
after this
ordering
series,
was
both
another
teams are,
$100.
And Chopped especially, one more loss and their season is done. And Navi booked
It's
themselves into
expensive.
Atlanta alongside VP and Citadel.
Don't get me wrong, it's good food.
The game is the fast roll.
It's very expensive.
Jeff movement speed allows the side of Chops to take the early control and try and set up a choke point for Navi.
So lesson learned, when you hang out with your dad, don't tell him to get whatever you want. No, chat. I don't know what you guys are smoking. I'm not Tim the Tap Man. That is a lot of money.
Between the Groots, Beetle, I think, has actually been winning out against Trust Me. I think Trust Me's had a better day on all of the Vanguards, but Beetle has not been afraid of having these branches.
Exactly,
hit
Dread,
each other,
exactly.
taking swipes, level 1 Crook. He's going to take out the Groot in the end, though. There was just too much forward damage, and even with DRP having a protection onto Magneto, the Bulwark and the Metallic Curtain, it isn't enough to block the damage that Navi's throwing in. Now that they have Naga over on the Phoenix.
They finally got Jean Grey herself. It's been sort of
I
forgotten
did not
about
know,
with
chat.
the rise of Star-Lord.
Twitch
And
probably
now
made
it's
it.
time to
They take
remember
50%.
just how powerful the primordial life essence of the Phoenix Force is.
I don't know.
As they try and set up a defensive perimeter with Jerky.
What you guys
looking
think
for
of me?
flanks, looking for anyone who steps out of position. High grounds. Any chance they can get to isolate someone is going to be hugely important. And of course, they have that team
Okay, let's
up.
see this.
Seeing if he can get a little bit of extra healing and make it very uncomfortable for Chop to go
Also, I
into
can't drink
these
sake.
fights.
I don't know.
Jerky versus Crazy
I never
Kitty
had a
is
good
going to be the
sake.
Wolverine head-to-head. Haven't seen many of those, but it pretty much is going to be these fists all fighting onto the point. Even a couple of melee picks for Naga as he's
Whoa,
getting
whoa,
those
whoa, whoa,
resets
whoa, 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 whoa.
from the melee attacks themselves.
Cancer's
Not gonna be
different,
useful
chat.
in the future, but so long as
Donating
they're
to
useful now,
cancer is
Navi will
different.
take it.
Fuck cancer.
This is a solid setup for Navi. You can see Crazy Kitty on
Also,
that Wolverine
Chop
to try and
losing?
counteract themselves, but has yet to find an impact that is really setting them up well. Naga's held on to their own Ensong Inferno for this entire time. This is right now Navi just in full control. We have an almost exactly mirrored draft, but it seems that Emma is making a pretty solid difference so far.
It has so far. Every single map that we've seen for Navi play, they've had the Emma, Chopped have not. It's put so much strain on DRP and Beetle in
Soju
the
is
Vanguard
delicious.
line,
I love
they have
soju,
to
but
make
soju is very
do.
dangerous.
The stranglehold different
Soju
towards
tastes so
you, but I
good,
think
it
it's
sneaks
too
up
much
on you, and
for
then,
It's gonna
oof.
force up the eternal
4
bond,
bottles
however,
later,
from
you're
Nash.
like, where the hell am I?
Just keep the aura into their favor, and a pick at least for Chopped is good, but it reminds me of Krakoa earlier texture, where it's looking to be Navi getting to 99%. Just
Ooh,
Chopped able to
nice,
take it.
nice.
It's
But
going to be a triple. Naga, Fade, and Crook go down as they set that up beautifully, and that was 100% down to DRP. Wolverine tried to pick up Beetle, but the Iron
Soju's
Bulwark
really good. I
protected
wouldn't
them.
try the
And
normal
Beetle to
soju. I would try the
straggling
flavored
prison.
one.
Chopped,
I don't
they
really like the
flip it
normal
on
soju.
99,
The flavored
but now
soju is
they
really
have to
good, though.
hold for there's still an Ensong Inferno, there's still a final, there's still a last stand. This is Navi having a very tough
I
job
never
ahead of them
drank
to try and
in
recapture
period. I have no interest. And drinking's overrated, bro. I only drink socially.
Really
when I'm hanging out with like
now
people.
for Chopped,
And that's
and
not a
whilst
lot.
DRP hasn't quite connected with some of those Meteor M's. I think it was 0 and 5 that he managed over on Midtown to connect onto eliminations. Every other bit of the Magneto kit has been perfect. Naga now seeing if he can go for the slam. It's not going to be coordinated with Trust Me having his own Meteor M. That's not available yet, but it might set up the last stand. I think it's come out on both sides. Crazy Kitty holding onto his actually, but he gets absolutely devastated from Trust Me. He gets knocked to the ground. And that's two players down for Chopped in a 4v6 to fight for the point. The RP's having to get off of the Magneto. He doesn't get the ultimate because he has to go strange.
Fate has done something they have done so many times before and said, I'll do it myself. Going in with an Eternal Bond in that cloak form with a Terra Cape.
Wait, that's a very interesting portal. I've actually never thought about portaling there. Their whole team's
down from DRP to return the team to the point and holding that timer, but they can't get around the portal. They're stuck in this tight area. They are literally stuck. They have to wait for it to expire, but
yeah, wait. Well, I feel like that kind of fucked them up because now they're all stuck in a corner. Or maybe that was really...
exact time. Meteor from Trust Me, not finding the point, invisible boundary to buy a little bit of extra time, straggling Prison, holding them onto the point as Crazy Kitty pushes on in. They last standing, they're able to take out Naga, counter from Jerky to burn on through, but Crazy Kitty is able to sustain and get the counter push. Jerky falls, and it looks like Chopped may be able to hold this, Ryan.
But they have to still take it. That's the problem.
Yo, DRP clutch with the portal, chat. I don't know. Apparently that portal was really good. Does anyone know if the Cloak had ult, or maybe he did that portal so the Navi couldn't push him and they could build the support ult to use it when the portal goes down? I'm pretty sure. I don't know if I wasn't looking if the Cloak had ult though.
Once the portal drops, Beetle almost explodes.
That was risky. That was very risky.
Makes it a bit more of an awkward brawl for Navi.
They were like 80 at Cloak. Okay, so they probably did that portal to stay in that little room so they could like throw down a little orb, build support ult, and then use the support ult when the thing went down.
Buy as much time as they can with Enso Inferno coming
good play.
from above, but Fate immediately with the Eternal Bond to
that was a really good play.
Naga is built up to their own Enso Inferno to buy every extra second. DRP has that Eye of Okamoto.
Okay, chat, let's see this. Come on, DRP. Come on, DRP, make me proud. It's not Mag.
Have to go crazy on this to buy extra time. Jerky takes out DRP. They lost the crowd control.
DRP
stacked up towards the point. Straggling Prison for extra time. The point is flipped in favor of Navi with DRP falling down. No portal available. He's just going to make his way back in on foot, which is a slow walk, but it could give them the stuff they need if he arrives. But with Beetle falling, Crazy Kitty falling, and Jerky continuing to go wild on the point, taking down the duelists. Mash is able to be taken down, and it's all down to Tuzi trying to roll, trying to duck, trying to weave. DRP makes it back, but there's no way they're going to get that Eye of Okamoto off.
They just didn't have enough. But Chopped having ultimates is a good thing because it means for this second point that they have stuff like the Eye of Agamotto, Invisible Boundary to take the point first. Something that they haven't managed at all in these domination maps, whether it's been this one or back on Krakoa right at the start of this series. Every time Navi's been able to get the point and get it to 99%, no matter what Chopped have been able to do.
This is Chopped trying everything they can to stay in this tournament, but they are literally being dragged to the brink, kicking and screaming by Navi, who still have Meteor M, still have Silent Exduction, and an Invisible Boundary. Navi, they are holding back the tide and are now one round away from ascension towards their second international event and their opportunity to try and retain their title.
Navi very close here, and it does feel like this first fight on the point, because Navi have set themselves up so nicely on domination, is absolutely everything. DRP moving away from the Doctor Strange. The Eye of Agamotto is not going to be in use. He's gone back to the Magneto to build himself up halfway towards a Meteor M.
Jerky does a little bit of aura farming on the way, so they can set themselves up. Like you say, DRP setting back up for another Media M, sacrificing the Eye of Agamotto. They want to save Portal because it's still on cooldown, so they don't really want to be on Strange at this stage. Silent Seduction to open this up with Media M following.
Trust Me is bricking too, bro.
There's the Invisible Boundary. Chopped not losing any numbers, but maintaining some control on the point. But it's given up again to Navi. They're able to just steal it away from them.
They're keeping control, but Chopped are still going to be able to duel on this, still going to be able to contest. Jerky knocked back, beautifully done there by the mag cannon of DRP as they're trying to give every extra second they can. Naga has the Ensong Inferno, though Jerky has the last stand. Crazy Kitty has their own, and Tuzi is charging up, and there it is, last stand.
Oh, I think when he ulted, he was behind that wall right there that you guys see. That's kind of fun. That was kind of unfortunate.
But they're not gaining picks either. This neutral is only going to suit Navi, and the last stand for Crazy Kitty trying to find something, but it just doesn't.
Come on, DRP!
DRP, we don't see many of these ultimates come through. It connects onto the target, but it doesn't lead to an elimination.
He actually hit the guy, which was crazy, but it was even crazier is how the fuck did that guy live? Did he hit?
They got the Dagger Storm out before the group.
He hit the Wolverine, right? And it did the passive.
Keep the team topped up, and they're taking a lot of damage from Tuzi.
Did it?
But Tuzi getting harassed by Jerky here, who tries to escape, tries to take some cover, but they are on point. There's the flip at 57%, and Chopped, they seem to have calmed down. They seem to have been, they were playing quite stressed at the very beginning of this round, but they calmed down and took a fairly solid neutral fight.
I'm
pretty sure I saw the
we're all
passive.
A little bit stressed with how this is going. Chopped, I don't know if Beetle was holding on to that strangling present for that long. He had it right.
Oh
at the
no,
start
I'm 30,
of
bro.
this
Listen, my
point.
eyes are already
Has it
gone.
Again, that combination with the Ensog Inferno could be enough, but it just feels that these kind of like big slam ultimates aren't really leading into like multi-kills onto Na'Vi. Ensog Inferno slamming on down. It doesn't. Nobody goes down to low HP.
Can I see the
from
Wolverine?
Na'Vi. It's that invisible boundary from Crook that keeps everybody going, and then Jerky in the backline manages to catch Tuzi off the back of his ultimate being used.
Rajaro's wrapping around, looking for an opportunity to put some pain onto DRP and onto those strategists, and already the damage comes out. Beetle, drop low, DRP coming in, Vertigo and Mash.
Oh no, yeah, you guys are right. It didn't proc the passive.
Turkey gets sniped though.
Yeah, I wonder what he hit. I gotta go. We gotta go back and see that.
With an eternal bond, and we get Navi flipping it back.
Damn.
59% to 54 in their favor. DRP gonna be the first to respawn, sticking with the Magneto. They don't need to strange yet. There's still time. Don't
Rewind is
panic.
goaded if he wasn't charged
Already
enough.
Navi
You rewind.
are
Oh,
creeping
he
their
did
way
hit the
towards
wolf, but it
Atlanta.
wasn't enough damage. Ah, damn, yo, thank you, thank you.
I think
So, hey, my eyes are not that bad. He did hit the Wolverine, but he didn't. He didn't have enough charge to proc the passive.
It's crazy, but it's more crazy that Chopped are not getting any eliminations off the back of these big ultimates.
Okay, chat, this is where he shines. This is where he shines. He's gonna be LeBron James right here. LeBron James.
See a bit more, but that silent seduction is going to stop anything from coming through. Again, a meteor.
That's not his fault. They faded.
Na'Vi are all still alive and unharmed.
It's got to be Tuzi or Fate who's MVP this time, because that was another Dark Force teleport to block everything out. Jerky is looking for Thompson.
They faded, Chad. It's just, it's not his fault. At least he aimed for them.
From Na'Vi, reducing it significantly. Tuzi also just built up towards that Ensog Inferno for their last turnaround, and Jerky is not sustaining through this, getting melted off the board. Chopped are flipping it again. 99% to 56, and all Chopped have to do is hold to even up this map and put themselves back in the game.
Yeah, I don't know, chat. I think Fate needs to come back since he was dead, and he needs to build his ult. Level 1 Crook is going to have his ult, but...
all of these big slams that are coming down, whether it's a big metallic ball from Magneto, a Phoenix diving down, or even
oh
just a
shit,
Wolverine
if Chopped
leaping
wins
into
this,
the
this is going to be
action.
such a,
It's
oof,
lot more
nail biter.
concentrated firepower into one particular spot, and Na'Vi trying to get through this choke is being forced back from Chopped, but they have an axe to grind. They want to try and get us to a 5th map in this best of 5 and not go out here, but it's all about not being picked off as Jerky is looking to find that opening pick again.
Could be the last gasp, last stand, last pick, but they can't.
Good ult.
Find it.
Good ult by level 1.
Is keeping Chopped in this setup. Meteor and from Trust Me, trying to chase down Tuzi, who evades it with the free flight.
Don't tell me Trust Me is doing the same shit now.
Target, but Rajaro takes out Tuzi before they can get their own end zone. They might
Oh,
have to
he got bubbled.
sacrifice it here just to portal back to the point, because their tournament life is on the line. We lose Beetle, and Tuzi takes
Oh
the
no,
jump.
Beetle
They
had
have to
ult
do
too.
it.
Beetle had ult too, but he's
Moments
gonna be back, I think, because Tuzi's gonna TP.
Crazy Kitty is gonna be taken out. They buy every extra
Beetle's gonna need to pop off, chat. Beetle's gonna need to hit a fat one.
The psionic seduction, they can't reach. It's over. Na'Vi takes game number 4, and they have punched their ticket to the global finals.
Chopped have been cutting their way through some of the best teams in EMEA, but if you're going for the world champions, you better not miss. There were close hits from them, but just Na'Vi, they have a crown to protect, and they weren't going to let themselves go out of this easily. A 3-1 win for them in this best of 5 means that it's going to be all of the organizations, the big dogs at least from EMEA, head into an international event. As Chopped, you have to give them their flowers of what they've been able to do.
Remember, chat, this is actually crazy because Navi did win. Navi's going to go to the grand finals in Atlanta. But what's really crazy is that Chopped was like yesterday, before they played, they were undefeated on domination maps. They were these are supposed to be their maps. They were undefeated, and they lost yesterday, and they actually lost today.
Navi will be making their way into that lower bracket finals to play against Virtus Pro, and they will be going to those global finals to defend their world champion title.
It's under a different organization, but Navi are going to be happy that they sat down with this rad T1 roster just to make sure that they could get something together. So yeah, Navi bouncing back